pronounce that correctly, a metal detecting group in Canada. And boy, do they have some history to tell us, because obviously Canada, unique, a lot of nice things going on over there. So we're going to bring them on and let's hopefully get some interesting stories. I'm sure we will. Let's bring Jimmy and Patrick on. Here we go. Hey, welcome, guys. Jimmy,
hey, John.
Patrick.
Hey, John. Thanks for having us.
Now then, Patrick, when did you start metal detecting, mate?
I started metal detecting about 6 years ago in a city called Edmonton. My wife bought myself and my, at the time, 5-year-old daughter, little Garrett Ace, just a little starter machine. And that's how you got to start, right?
And how long ago was that, Patrick?
That was about 6 years ago.
6 years ago?
Yeah.
What about you, Jimmy? How long? When did you start detecting?
I started detecting right at the beginning of COVID, actually, when COVID hit. So it was the perfect hobby for me to pick up. And, you know, I'm in the middle of a field. Everybody's leaving me alone. And that's when I started. It was about three and a half years ago now. Yeah.
What really made you get into it, though? I mean, you know, what
really made me get into it was I always wanted to metal detect. Even as a kid, I would see metal detectorists at the beach, and I always said, when I retire, I'm going to do that. Well, there was a few things that lined up for me to start doing this 3 years ago in my life, and it's been the perfect hobby for me since. Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit about the history around there, then, Patrick.
Yeah. There's like, as far as like our culture goes, Europeans came over here 300 years ago, kind of thing, and started basically settling and starting up farms, basically, right? And everybody was given a quarter acreage of land. Of course, there's a lot more history locally with the local indigenous people, which have been here for hundreds of years.
Oh, yes.
Our earlier kind of history, as far as what we find metal detecting, is like Hudson Bay fur trade.
Oh, yes.
There's a lot of fur trading items that you can find, copper points and things that early Europeans would have traded for furs with the local indigenous people, and then a lot of it would go overseas, back over to Britain, right?
What type of countries do you think actually sort of stopped and came over to Canada then? You know, I know the Brits came over. We know that one. Who else came over?
Yeah, you know, you name it. Lots of farmers. So Germans, Ukrainians.
Germans.
We have a very multicultural place here in Western Canada. Anyway, Eastern Canada has a lot more history, and a couple hundred years prior to us in Western Canada.
Okay, right, Jimmy. What kind of things have you been finding then?
You know, I'm relatively new in the hobby, as I said. So I lean on guys like beside me for help. But I mean, I find it's a lot more modern stuff. I find jewelry, but I've found, you know, I have stumbled upon a little bit of fur trade action here with a Hudson Bay company button. And you're not going to be able to see it, but
no, probably not. Just that's it. Yeah, that's it. Just go into the middle here and just show that top. That's perfect. That's it. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, and what letters are that?
HB. So that would have been Hudson Bay. We came across an old fur trading site. So,
did you find anything else, Jimmy?
Yeah. Also, I found a gold ring here 3 years ago. One of my first finds, actually, with my metal detector was a gold ring, and it actually has his name engraved in it. And then it says RCAF, which is Royal Canadian Air Force.
Wow.
So that was World War II. And I have tried to track him down and give it to a family member, but I've been unsuccessful up until this point. But of course, that
Really?
is the ultimate find. You know, is
Cool.
find a grandchild or
Nice
something.
history, that, Jimmy. Nice history.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you,
yeah.
Patrick? Then what have you been finding?
Yeah, James's Hudson Bay button, that's likely early 1700s up until mid 1800s. So they would have used those buttons. Some of the items that I kind of picked up here, I have a really interesting, now you guys would have, I don't know if I can do this or not. So you guys would be familiar with this.
I can see it.
Can
Is
you?
it George III?
No,
Penny.
it is a half penny. Yeah.
Yeah, just turn it round then.
There, can you see it?
That's the Britannica side. What's the other side like?
So now here's the weird thing about this, right? So you guys are used to these. Watch the other side.
Oh, is it a harp?
Weird, hey?
Is that a harp?
No, it's the same. It's Britannia with one date, like 1 year earlier. So someone has had a little bit of fun, and they've grinded 2 half pennies down. And
that's unique, isn't it?
Isn't that cool?
That's unique. Yeah,
very unique. Yeah.
I
thought that was kind of neat.
Different.
Like we find a lot of European stuff here. Like as far as European culture goes, late 1800s, early 1900s is the stuff that we usually find, which is still fun for us. Yeah. Gold, of course. I have a probably the smallest ring you'll ever see. I found this morning with James. I found it this morning. It's gold, and it's a baby's ring. Back in the day, it would have been celebrated. Babies would have their own rings. Can you see like kind of a pattern on there? It's so delicate and little.
It is, isn't it? Yes.
And
try go up to the camera and see if you can get any joy on it. Right up to the camera, your camera. No,
it's hard to see.
So what's the pattern like then? What would you describe the pattern as then?
It's just a like a little kind of a fancy star pattern through it.
Oh, okay.
So I'll give you a picture later.
Okay.
Here's another bigger kind of gold ring.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a like a class ring, right? So that would have been very popular in
is it silver?
Late 1900s. It's gold.
Is that silver?
It's gold.
Oh, it's gold.
Yeah.
Is it white
94?
Gold? I can't tell. See with the color.
Yeah. This one's nice. 94. This is very American. Having these big bling rings, right?
It is.
Gold heavy rings. Do
you think that's a ruby then?
I think so. Yeah.
I think that's really nice. I like that part. This is really nice. Honestly. Do you know what the age of that is?
It's not very old. It's marked 94 on it. It's a
94,
class ring.
So they've used that design, but in a modern concept.
Yeah, it's definitely very American, having like these big big heavy rings, right? So
I never knew that.
Yeah. I also right here is actually a class ring from what I believe to be is the Walter Johnson High School out of Maryland.
Oh, nice.
In the United States. So that's thousands of miles away. And, we always ask ourselves, well, how does that end up here?
Yeah.
We talk about what is the history in our area. Yeah, but a lot of times the history in our area is thousands of miles away. And that ring is a prime example. It's a class ring, came out of a modern park, thousands of miles away. How did it end up here? We don't know, but it's in my treasure chest now. So.
Yes, it's definitely walked on somebody's finger somewhere, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Taking a long trip, a long walk, and can you imagine? You're just going along, Where's my ring?
Yeah.
I bet they were gutted.
Yeah.
Do you have any other finds than jewelry that you've got?
Yeah. Here is a.
Oh yeah.
There's a cap badge.
We find a lot of World War I, World War II cap badges, and a lot of that kind of stuff from where we're from. There was a lot that we would send overseas.
And what can you tell which regiment that is then, Jim?
I don't know the regiment. Well, actually, it's the Midland Regiment, and I believe that's Northern
Midland.
Ontario.
Yeah, Midland.
Midland Regiment, I believe, is Northern Ontario because I researched that. And also on there it says Semper Paratus, which means always ready in Latin. So just a little fun fact, but yeah.
Would you think that's an English one, or is it a Canadian one regiment?
Canadian, yeah. It's got a beaver on it. So beaver is a big symbol for Canada, right? So
yeah, we need educating. We need educating about what's Canada and what's not. Well, I do. I don't know about anybody else. Yeah, and so that's a bit of was that World War One? Did you say, or World War Two?
That's World War II right there.
Yeah, nice. Anything else, guys? You got anything else to show us?
Do you want me to show?
Yeah, you can go ahead, Patrick.
Say, look at that lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
so a bunch of stuff you might
recognize. Talk us through it.
Iron Cross there. This is a Civil War bridle that would have gone on a horse.
Wow.
A cavalry horse from the Civil War.
Yeah, nice.
We find a lot of this kind of stuff. RNWMP stands for Royal Northwest Mounted Police.
Oh,
so
lovely.
in Canada we have the Royal Mounted Police, and that's our like kind of national police, right?
Oh, love it.
A lot of these are cap badges that I found, and other little things just on here. So
well, what are they though? I'd like to know. What's that long thing on your left-hand side?
Well, what are those called again?
To your
this one here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there's another one over here too.
Oh, right.
I can't remember what the name it is.
What did it use for?
Well, it would have been on the end of a rope that would have gone around a ceremonial.
So a decoration.
Yes.
End of a rope decoration. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And there's a lot of interesting different things here. Buttons.
Oh yeah, definitely got Canada there.
Shoulder patches. This is over here. This is rifles, the Canadian rifles, which is
that's nice.
Yeah, so that would have been a shoulder badge. There's a match. One of our friends has the matching one, so we found them as a set, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
And so there's some more examples.
You still can talk about a bit more. Just talk us in some more of them, because I want to know. Never mind anybody else. What's the other badges?
Well, a lot of them are just Canadian cap badges of different. It's hard for me to kind of look and at the same time, right?
So Canadian.
I wish I would have had them all written down.
No, you said that was an Iron Cross.
Yes, right here. Yeah, I found this at a train station.
But isn't that? I thought that was German, or is it just?
It is German, absolutely. So you got to remember, there's a lot of history here, right? There's generations of immigrants coming to Canada and farming, and
they bring it over.
Also serving in war overseas. Yes. So we have a lot of rich history here. It's just a matter of going out and finding it in the right places, right? Yeah. So anyway, that's some of the kind of military.
That's really neat, honestly. That is a nice collection.
Thank you.
Now, just tell us then roughly the history in your town.
Our hometown is Regina, Saskatchewan. Regina is from the Queen. What's her name?
Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth or Regina.
Yep.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's what it's named after, and this is the capital of Saskatchewan. So, we only have about 1 million population in all of Saskatchewan, and it's a very big place. In Regina, we have about 250,000 people. It started, Regina started in the late 1800s, and all of Saskatchewan, there's tons of little ghost towns here. That's the neat thing. There's about 1,000 of them. And what happened was, 120 years ago, immigrants would come here and they'd all be given a quarter section land, and they would have their old homestead. And eventually little communities would start merging together, and they had rail lines running all over the place throughout Saskatchewan. And all these little towns kind of started forming, and they were very popular. And nowadays, though, farmers are getting bigger, and they're buying up all of these quarter lots from everyone else.
I see.
So we have, these larger towns, and a lot of the little towns have just kind of disappeared. Even the rail lines aren't really that popular anymore. And, as far as transportation and things like that, we all have vehicles, and everything is just much easier to get around. And so, over the last 100 years, some of these little towns either have just like a population of 50 people or none.
Oh.
So we like going detecting around and rescuing history from all these little communities, obviously with permission and things like that. But it's endless, the amount of space that we have here.
Yeah, there's lots of little ghost towns in this province, and they've closed down. They couldn't. The Dirty 30s came, and it started to close a lot of those ghost towns down. And so now it's really up to us, obtaining permission.
So it's prime target for detecting, no doubt about it. How easy is it for you to get permission?
Well, it depends. It can be really easy, and if they say no, well, we're on to the next one. We say thanks for your time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We do the same thing.
Yeah, people in Saskatchewan are so super friendly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hunting is a big thing here. They hunt for deer a lot, things like that. So they're used to people asking for permission to.
Oh, I see.
If they have land in river valleys
and things. Yeah. Oh, I see. What kind of animals do you have out there then in Canada? What's more common animals that you tend to see?
White-tailed deers are common. Moose have even became more common too. 20 years ago, there wasn't any moose in the prairies, and now they've migrated out of the mountains in British Columbia, and they've migrated into the plains. So moose are common. Elk there is some elk, but mainly white-tail deer and mule deer. Yeah.
Do you have any problems with the bears then?
Not where we're from. We're a little bit further south in the province. And so we're out of what's called the boreal forest. But up in the boreal forest, which is about 6 hours north, that's where the bears are. Yep.
I see. So you're fairly safe there then?
Yeah, we're safe from the bears. No
polar bears. What do you have any interesting stories to tell us then? Yeah, sort of things happening to you. Maybe the ghost story, who's to know? Or strange happenings, or you just fell down a well or something, or anything interesting. What happened to you while detecting? Or you got spooked? Because I'm sure sometimes you get spooked, can't you?
Yeah. Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. So James and I went to this little town about an hour away this morning. What's kind of unique about it is back 100 years ago in Saskatchewan, there was boardwalks everywhere, right? They didn't use cement back then, so they would have wooden boardwalks. So that's how you would need that because things would just get too muddy, and there's a lot of snow here in the wintertime, stuff like that. So, every house would have a boardwalk that would go up to their door and around in their town, right? So we found this town just this morning where they haven't actually removed any of the boardwalks. So we were thinking, well, hey, let's go and detect over the boardwalks, and they're kind of rotted away enough that we could just lift them up and detect underneath them, right? And pretty cool. We were a little bit too eager this morning. Like we were up at 6 a.m. and out the door, and I'll
be there. Never mind you.
Yeah, exactly. So we're trying to be quiet, because it's a little local community there, right? So. And we had this lady come out in her house coat, and she's like, what are you guys doing here? Kind of like, I don't think that there's a problem with us. It was like town land, so it really wasn't a big deal that we were there. But we got in trouble because it was just too early for her. We were trying to be quiet, but she's like, it's 7 a.m.
I'll come back at 12.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's like, I don't know, it's too hot by then, right? So,
Police, handcuffs. You were too early.
yeah,
Get
exactly.
him arrested.
So that was
Yeah.
kind of funny. We kind of got shooed out of that area. And
Yeah. So, what did you find anything then? I'm dying to know. What did you find?
I actually found that little gold child's.
Oh, that child
ring.
ring. Oh,
I
right.
found that this morning. I found this, which is interesting.
Oh, yeah.
It almost looks like an old Roman kind of
It does, but it's
spear
not.
or
It's a
something,
leather
right?
sole, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's pretty thick. So
It's not
I would
metal,
say,
though, that is it?
pardon me?
Is it metal?
It's metal. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's.
Oh.
I'm assuming it would have been come from the local blacksmith in town. I think it's fairly old, but I mean, maybe there's some maker marks on it. I don't know. I'll have to do an electrolysis.
It could be medieval, you know.
That would be cool, hey? Not in Saskatchewan. We sit and drool over your guys'
Yeah.
you watch.
Well, that's interesting, though. That's interesting. And I bet you're going to go back to this, aren't you? And I bet you haven't done yet.
Oh yeah, we'll go back there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We find a lot of silver. They produced our coins just up until the late '60s in silver, right? So
Oh, yeah.
There's
What have you got there?
there's
you got?
early 1900s Canadian nickel, also known as the fish scale,
Oh,
because of the size of them.
bring it closer.
it's a half dime.
And that. Oh, yes. I can just about see it. Yeah,
Right.
nice.
So that's a Canadian half dime.
And yeah, so we find stuff like this,
Well,
they're not
that's
common,
is that,
but
and it's George V.
yeah,
George
they're super tiny, right?
You gotta remember-
Is that George VI?
That's George
What
V.
king is it?
George the Fifth.
This is
Yeah, George V.
this is
Yeah.
George V.
But yeah, like
Ah.
all of our coins have the same heads as your guys's, right?
Ah.
And before that, and
But did you know the different designs, though? You know the different. Do you know I found some of them over here?
have you really?
I've got some of them, yeah.
Oh,
And
really?
And did you know they have a different design portrait than ours?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Different
yeah,
design.
absolutely.
That's how I can tell it's not from here. You know.
Yeah. But I mean, we always get excited based on the age of stuff that we find. When we find Queen Vicky, we're pretty happy, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh, boy.
absolutely.
Hang on.
For
Hang on.
sure.
Hang on. Hang on.
Yeah. So yeah. No, lots of history everywhere. Lots of history. What do we got?
Yeah, there you go. We're drooling already.
One day.
One day we'll get over to where you are.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Religious.
I've got about 18 Victorian coins there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I just
Sorry. I had to say that.
this is my oldest coin to date, John. This is my oldest coin to date, 1872.
It's still nice. Victoria, yes.
British penny. Boy, we're having troubles here.
Victoria.
But the
Yeah, it's
patina
Victoria,
on it
isn't
is
it?
just amazing, eh? The patina is just beautiful
Yeah.
on those
I
old
know.
coins, eh?
Yeah,
So-
I made a copper, you know. It's nice when they're in very good condition and crisp and you can see the outline.
Right.
Unfortunately, quite a lot of ours are worn, aren't they? You know,
Yeah.
they're broken up. Yeah, they probably won't realize in our country is that because they put quite a lot of fertilizer and all sorts of cow manure and all sorts
Yeah.
on our land.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
deteriorates quite a lot of the copper.
Yeah.
Same
And
here.
ones where they don't use it as much, you have better coins. So sometimes when you see a lot of corroded coins, you know what they've been doing.
Yeah.
We have the same-
Always wear gloves, mate. Always wear gloves.
Yeah.
Always. In history. Isn't that
There's
right?
my
you
half
guys?
$1.
That's your $5. Oh, come on. Let's see it.
It's not very old. This one. It's from
Oh,
40.
it's still all nice. I
There's
like silver.
King George the Sixth on the back there. There he is.
Oh, yeah. What date is it?
1946.
Do you know that's solid silver?
90%.
Yeah. Brilliant. Oh, see that other side. Come on. I want to see that again. Come on. I like that.
With the shield, the Canadian shield.
Oh, yes. Canadian shield. I've never seen one, you know.
Yeah, it's
That's
beautiful.
nice, you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Relic.
you know, Canada has some amazing, beautiful coins.
Mm.
One of the biggest things about, like, I'm actually a graphic artist as well, so
Oh,
I love the design of old coins, and it's one of
yeah,
the
so do
things
I.
that got me into the hobby. It's just,
Yeah.
and
I,
not
I,
only
I
that,
love
but
it. The skill,
yeah, the skill and
the
early, like,
design.
Victorian
Lovely, innit?
times, everything
Yeah.
was built so well, and
Mm.
you know, the designs and everything was just handcrafted with
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I like about when I see an half crown, which is a very similar size as that, the artwork and the design and detail in that is just amazing.
Yeah,
And some people
absolutely.
go, oh yeah, it's
Everything.
a bucket. But me, I look at it a bit longer than probably normal and go, look at the lettering, look at the design, what does it mean? And yes, it's fascinating to me too.
Yeah,
And the history, of course.
even old pocket watches or you name it, right?
Oh yeah.
This is what a big old farmer's pocket watch would have looked like from 80 years
Yeah.
ago. Big,
Oh yeah. Well, we
big,
do find
big
them here,
boys.
We do find them here.
Oh yeah, even the big ones like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pocket watches. Oh yeah. I find the keys that go in them. A lot of the key, the keys.
Oh yeah.
The keys.
Yeah.
I just found one the other day. I think I've only found one. It was gold, a gold one, 9 carat, in one of my beaches. I found one of them a long time ago now.
Yeah.
But I've never found. The trouble is, a lot of them are the inner workings are corroded and they've had it really. That's the problem.
I find a lot of silver ones, or at least pieces of them. So
are they inside silver mechanisms, or is it just the casing that's silver?
Usually, it's just the casing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I found many silver casings as well over here, with all fancy designs and all sorts, beautiful, and all the things missing inside. So I've got a lot of that, over here. But yeah, guys, it has been awesome, interesting. We'll finish up and just mention your group again verbally, and thank you very much for sharing your history back there. I'm sure we're going to come back, because obviously in winter time is when it's resting time, and it's a count up of all your different finds and your history, and we can probably do another update.
Yeah.
And you might probably show us a big display what you're going to find, Jimmy.
Yeah. I'll have it all nicely displayed.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. I probably. That's it. That's it.
There it is, guys. Soutth Metal Detecting. Check us out on YouTube. Also follow us on TikTok, Prairie Dog Diggers.
Excellent.
Prairie Dog Diggers. Come check out some of the latest finds we're doing here.
Prairie Dog Diggers, right there.
Oh, nice.
Right on, guys.
Take care. It's been great
having you so much, Sean.
And we'll see you another time.
Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you so much. Good luck, everybody.